Airtel app to buy Yaka units. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless.
A wonderful evening and a warm welcome to our second edition of UBC News Tonight. It is the 8th day of May 2022. It is also Mother's Day. So a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers of the nation on earth and also those in heaven. Well, before we start off tonight's newscast, let's first take a look at the top stories of the night. Our top stories tonight: Catholic Church to mark 100 years of Mother Kevin. Friends, relatives and fans of the Lieutenant General Muhoozi attend his birthday party in Entebbe. Science teachers will not step in class until their salaries are raised. And in sports, Jasmangat wins poor as FMU celebrates a successful trouble-free event. Good evening once again and welcome to our second edition of UBC News Tonight. I'm LAURYN Kazimoto and Muhammad Mugalu on sign language interpretation. We start off with our first headlining story this evening. Little Sisters of St. Francis Kokonjeru in Lugazi Diocese have launched a fundraising drive to construct a multi-million Mother Kevin building as part of activities to mark 100 years of Mother Kevin Mary Kearney in Buikwe district. Mother Kevin, a Catholic nun, came to Uganda in January 1903 as part of a group of 5 nuns from the congregation of the Franciscan Sisters of St. Mary's Abbey, Mill Hill in London.
Little Sisters of St. Francis Nkonkonjeru in Lugazi Diocese have launched a fundraising drive to construct a multi-million Mother Kevin building as part of the activities to mark 100 years of Mother Kevin Mary Kearney in Buikwe district. While launching the fundraising drive, Vice President retired Major Jessica Alupo said Mother Kevin deserves the celebration because she worked very hard for the poor, needy and especially the sick and people who were suffering from leprosy. Hence, opening clinics for them at Nyenga and Buluba in Mayuge district. On the education front, the Vice President said Mother Kevin founded schools such as Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga in Mukono district and St. Joseph's Girls Secondary School in Zambia, among others. She commended the sisters for such enormous service to humanity.
I am very impressed with the organization of the Little Sisters of St. Francis and also their achievements and also the zeal to carry forward the works of Mama Kevina. I congratulate you on 99 years young, looking forward to 100 years old next year. It is my pleasure to join you today in these celebrations when we congratulate, recognize, and appreciate you, Little Sisters of St. Francis, for the wonderful work you have done and continue to do, especially in health, in education, and in the fight against poverty in Uganda, in Kenya, in Tanzania, but also in the USA.
Vice President Alupo handed over 30 million shillings towards the construction of Mother Kevin building and an extra 5 million shillings to cater for the elder sisters. While leading Mass, Bishop Christopher Kakoza of Lugaz Diocese reminded Christians to emulate the life of Mother Kevin by contributing towards the well-being and welfare of the elder sisters. The leader of opposition, Matthias Mpunga, said he is challenged and humbled by the works of the Little Sisters and urged government to consider the humble works of these organizations by seconding and paying their staff. The Superior General of Little Sisters of St. Francis, Sister Mary Cecilia, said the Association of Friends of Mother Kevin chose to construct a memorable building, Mother Kevin Centenary Building, in celebration of her loving service to God's people. The building will accommodate 100 self-contained rooms to house elder sisters. Etole Ed Ekengel, UBC News.
Senior Presidential Advisor and Special Operations and Commander Land Forces Lieutenant General Muhoozi this weekend hosted guests at Entebbe Cricket Grounds for a thank you celebration as part of his 48th birthday celebrations. The high-end party was attended by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Taiyewa, MPs, UPDF officers, NRM mobilizers, the business community, youth leaders and sports teams, including the National Rugby Sevens team. Take a look.
Entebbe Cricket Grounds was the place to be as the Commander of Land Forces, Lieutenant General Muhoozi hosted close friends and supporters to a thank you party as part of his 48th birthday celebrations. Muhoozi appreciated all those that have made it possible for the party to happen, mainly his parents, friends and relatives.
Thank you so much for this overwhelming love that you have demonstrated.
In attendance was the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Taiyewa, Attorney General Chwanuka, the first son of Tanzania, members of Parliament, men and women of God, his family members, amongst others.
The outpouring of love, solidarity, but importantly hope from our people has been unprecedented. From Bushenyi to Mbarara, to Fort Poto, to Kitgum, to Mbale, Karamoja, I have seen millions of young people using the MK at 48 mantra to organize not just social activities, but also cause discussion on what more we can do to make our wonderful motherland even better.
The party was organized by a committee headed by the Attorney General Chwanuka and graced by Muhoozi's friends and fans from across Uganda under the MK at 48. General Muhoozi asked the government to invest heavily in the arts and entertainment industry, tourism, for greater economic opportunities, mainly to benefit young people for young people.
I am glad that young people today, more than ever, appreciate our army, what our army is doing. I therefore celebrate all my comrades in arms, and thank you very much, FNCDA, for taking the time to come and be with us.
Muhoozi's 48th birthday celebrations continues Ugandans, mainly the youth, appreciate one of their own contributions to their country. Sharon Chomjisha, UBC News.
Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Operations and Commander Land Forces Lieutenant General Muhoozi wants youths sufficiently equipped with relevant skills to reduce high levels of lawlessness and unemployment. Muhoozi, who is also the first son, wants government to invest in entertainment and sports.
The Commander Land Forces, also the first son, Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, wants youth welfare be improved for better livelihoods.
Very, very strong and vibrant youth movement in this country. Actually, I think it is the strongest force in Uganda right now.
Three-star General, who has also been interacting with Ugandans through his 48th birthday parties, proposed that youth be attracted into sports and entertainment industry.
It is imperative that all of us in government, any position of leadership, recognize this and start solving the problems of the youth and looking into their interests.
In some of his tweets, Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba indicates that the refurbishing sports arenas will attract the youth into appreciating sports and entertainment.
I was happy when he was mentioning some of the key issues that need to be highlighted by government, especially the issue of promoting sports in our country. Supporting sports is the way to go, and we need to improve on the sports infrastructure, like the stadia, like the football pitch.
The idea of putting more money or increasing the sports budget is so correct, definitely alongside many other projects which can come up. So I really support it.
Nze manyi njagala nnyo ebyemizannyo. Nkulu yagambye ng'ayogedde ne president bakkiriziganyiza n'amuwulukusa bagenda kuzimba Philip Omondi. Kati nganze w'ebyemizannyo mba happy nti kati empira gyaffe tugendanga mu kiseera eky'ekitende kyokka kati tujagendako n'erugogo ng'ate facilities z'amaanyi.
The Mayor Kampala Central, Salim Uhuru, is among those who feel that the sports industry has not been given the clout it deserves.
Thank him so much. When he was talking, he hit on about the sports. I engaged him on issue of sports some time ago, and even with His Excellency, the issue of sports, especially the boxers. And the president, I was coordinating it with the late Lokech. It's very unfortunate he died before we had arranged it, but we had secured a meeting with the president, with the, Dr. Omona, the PPS, but because of a lot of challenges, then we pulled out. There was an operation that took place arresting mainly boxers, claiming that they are chifesi. It was very unfortunate. Not all boxers are chifesi, or not all go for such bad activities. But all in all, I have hopes in the sports industry. The moment the government comes in, that's the way to go.
Although Muhoozi has not openly declared his political ambitions, many of his supporters cannot hold back their interest on this debate.
I just want to see him as my next president.
We are here to give him morale and support so that he can confidently come in power.
No, I think we can get a new generation and a new person to lead us.
Obviously. Why would I be here if I'm not supporting him? Yeah, I would really want him to come.
Uganda is a free country, bro. You can decide to do your own party somewhere and decide to do so many things. People have always had parties, others go to the beach. So for me, I don't think it's even politics. Even if it's politics, what's the problem with that?
We are here for our general. We are here for the support of our general. General, we send this message to you. Team Diaspora is really working hard to make sure that it serves you outside, whoever is in diaspora, people who are in AEU.
During Entebbe Cricket Grounds, Friends of Muhoozi's party, Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba was gifted by the Uganda national rugby team, the Sevens.
And happy birthday to General. We want to give you this trophy so you can have it for some time or even keep it, because this is a treasure for Uganda.
The Uganda's sports and entertainment industry is a sector many cherish, though it lacks political support. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
A limited resource envelope in disaster management has been cited as one of the main obstacles affecting response to calamities across the country. The Minister for Relief, Refugees, Disaster Preparedness and Management, Engineer Hilary Onek, says the move will aid equipment acquisition for efficient management of disasters.
The population has been alerted. Government has intervened. But natural calamities continue to be a nightmare for people living in disaster-prone areas. Situations such as these often come as a result of heavy downpour, sometimes displacing hundreds, injuring many, and killing some. This is what people from the Elgon sub-region of eastern Uganda have been experiencing over the years, with the current ongoing rains raising the level of alertness.
We have developed hazard maps to indicate which districts under those climatic conditions could generate disaster for the population and so forth. These informations are available, and we are trying to utilize them with the districts to see that our population take precaution to be safe.
Warning systems may have been secured, but the response by the public towards environmental conservation has been low. This has not only made the work of disaster management difficult, but also impacted other environmentally friendly advocates.
We have tried to alert the population not to do the deforestation, not to destroy the vegetations on the hills, because they have been destroying these vegetations to plant crops and so on, like matoke and so on, which doesn't have deep roots to hold the soil in place. So that is an easier option, which we've been trying to work with the Ministry of Water and Environment, with their environmental department, to see if there can be reforestation of some of those areas where we have removed the population from.
Overwhelmed by disasters, yet strained by resources, Ministry for Disaster Preparedness is coming up with a disaster management plan to mitigate some of the challenges.
We are looking at primarily two things. Response to the situation through early warning systems, etc. And also mitigation of those environmental impact on the society, on the community. We are looking at also equipping ourselves as a disaster department in the Office of Prime Minister and all other ministries affected by disasters.
In the wake of the ongoing rains, district disaster management committees have a role to play in aiding government efforts towards the cause.
They are actually the directly affected community representatives, and their role also is to feed us with whatever information they have on the situation on the ground. So we collaborate with them. We collaborate with them, and based on the information we get from them, then we structure out our responses to the disasters that happens.
For now, the extent to which the population will respond towards calls for environmental conservation will determine the success of disaster management efforts in the country. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now, teachers in private schools or private institutions will this Monday smile all the way to the bank as government pays each of them 200,000 Uganda shillings as COVID-19 relief. This timely handshake comes at a time when most teachers prepare for the reopening of schools.
A commissioner at the Ministry of Education and Sports has intimated that teachers in private schools across the country are to be paid 200,000 shillings as COVID-19 relief. George Mutekanga was closing a 5-day training that attracted about 500 secondary school teachers at a workshop held at Duhaga Secondary School in Western Division, Hoima City.
If you have the 4, you are a teacher in a school in a given area, you are registered with the ministry. Your school is registered. You have a NIN number, and also you yourself you are registered with it. So then you qualify to get the money. So the money, we signed an agreement this week actually, on Wednesday, and I'm sure the money will be now released on Monday, 9th. Starting Monday, those who are on the system are going to be getting the money.
He also advised teachers in government and private schools to change their mindset and create different avenues of generating incomes than relying on only salaries from schools.
Then you can now be practical. After teaching, you can have something that you can do for a living. Waiting for a salary alone is not enough. So teachers should appreciate the fact that we shall never have enough money. But the issue now is how do you use the little money that you get to supplement and improve, not only by yourself but also your family.
A cross-section of teachers from government and private teachers who attended the training said they acquired practical skills. A teacher at Buyanja in Kagadi, Agot Catherine, says the training will help them change learners' attitudes and skills. A teacher at St. Catherine Chichichura Secondary School, Vincent Muhoozi, thanked government for the initiative and asked his fellow teachers to embrace the new curriculum for the transformation of teachers and learners' lives.
We should embrace this curriculum. It has worked somewhere else. When you look at Kenya, they are using almost the same curriculum. Look at the industries that are in Kenya vis-a-vis the industries that are in Uganda. You find a group of young children, they are selling craft. That is the new curriculum. Let us use this new curriculum to develop skills and talents in the learners.
The training workshop on assessment of learners in the revised lower secondary curriculum attracted private and government secondary school teachers from Kagadi, Chibale and Kakumiro districts. Sudat Kaye, Andrew Musinguzi, UBC News.
Science teachers are not stepping in class until their salary increment as directed by President Yoweri Museveni is effected. The President, Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union, along Vincent, says they are ready for negotiations with the President because they have been patient for too long. We have the details.
Come tomorrow 9th, there will be no teaching of science subjects in public schools if the threats by science teachers is anything to go by.
So the entire country is banning. These teachers can't be in class. Even when you use a gun to force them, they will not teach because teaching comes from the heart. It is not a garden work where you can pick a stick, you take prisoner and say, dig this piece.
The President, Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union, along Vincent, says those against science teachers are in government.
There are people in government. Some of them have investment in private schools, ministers, MPs. And they know that when salary of science teachers goes to 4 million, they will not have them in their school because they have been manipulating these teachers. And these are the people fighting the salary enhancement of these teachers. I want President to come out because he made a directive. President was on record in October last year talking about science teachers and how they are going to earn 4 million, rebuking some teachers. And these are things they did in 2018. Are they using us for publicity?
Along Vincent says there is need to prioritize education.
As science teachers, for us to call this industrial action on, we want a fruitful engagement, not this one where they are saying that they have considered some figure and they are looking at financial implication. Financial implication when they are passing budget. And they are asking us to call of industrial action as they handle our case. It is like government listen more to strikes. Because when they gave doctors 5 million and only the consultant were put at 9 million, but they wanted 20, doctors again said we have rejected. Then nurses, they had given them already something, they rejected.
The Secretary, Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union, Mugaiga Aaron Magambo, wants science teachers to negotiate their rights of the promised salary.
Some head teachers have started intimidating our members, forcing them to go to school. We have already engaged a number of them about this, and professionally it is wrong and unacceptable. We want to appeal to all head teachers in this country to take this matter seriously. It is actually beyond them. Because we are engaging government over this matter. It is a long-standing grievance.
Members of Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union claim that treatment towards science teachers cannot attract students to join their profession because of their marginalization. In August 2021, Cabinet resolved to increase the salary of science teachers, doctors, among others. Sudat Kai, UBC News.
8 officers and militants of UPDF Mountain Division have been sensitized ahead of their retirement in July this year. The exercise was held at the division headquarters in Muhoozi, Fort Portal.
We report that the best time for you to think about retirement.
8 officers and militants of UPDF Mountain Division are slated for retirement July this year. The most senior impending retiree, Colonel Robert Kakande, who is also the Mountain Division Operations Officer, thanked God for having kept him alive.
But if you have a chance, you can retire natandika inakusomweza 18 December kumwenda kinana mugumu nenyingire nsiku sanga muzeyi tugera nakadumi ne ebanga eryo wakinebaza Katonda sifunanga kocha kisago kya gundi oba okukubibwa essasi oba kukola nankali gundi oba kukompola baki ngate operation koze nyingi nnyo ebanga eryo.
The Deputy Chief of Pensions and Gratuity, Colonel Deborah Nayebale, encouraged them to continue with the revolutionary heart even in retirement.
It's very important that you work and retire and go home and do other things, contribute to your country in other ways. So it's very good that you have served and you honorably, kwa heshima, you're retiring to your home. So I must say thank you very much for your service. We appreciate, the UPDF appreciates, and we are humbled by the service you have rendered to this nation.
Then Toroko RDC Major Jones Mogavire, who is also among the 8 retirees, was optimistic that his transition to civilian life was going to be smooth. The division commander was represented by the Division Operations and Training Officer, Colonel Rogers Okiror, who delivered a message of appreciation to the impending retirees for the sacrifice to the nation and encouraged them to maintain discipline and a spirit of love for service to the country.
Now, as women across the globe celebrated Mother's Day, leaders in Nakawa Division in Kampala gifted the mothers of the area with safe and clean water. The leaders of Nakawa Division, comprising of members of parliament and councillors, say access to safe and clean water remains a big challenge in Nakawa, especially for women.
This is Mboya, one village commonly known as Chinawataka, a Kampala suburb. Early on this Sunday, women were seen in big numbers washing clothes and fetching water for domestic use. They were celebrating newly constructed safe and clean piped water by the local leaders of Nakawa Division.
For us to prevent diseases, and the only way we can best prevent diseases is through providing palatable water, quality water, for our people to drink so that they don't get diseased, because the diseased community is unproductive. If we want to reduce the stress on our hospitals, we have to give people quality, palatable water.
The area councillors say access to safe and clean water remains a big challenge in Nakawa, especially for women. A reason they decided to lobby for the project and handed it over on Mother's Day.
The nature of the well we had in the first place, it was terribly, terribly bad. If you can see the clips of the before and after, you realize that these guys have done a very tremendous job to our community. Banda area, this shallow well can accommodate over like 10,000 people, because it serves the people of Acholi quarters, it serves the people of Banda 1, it serves the people of Chinawataka. And these are the ones of the vulnerable communities that house a number of members in these areas.
The construction of the safe and clean piped water was supported by the Chinese business community in Uganda under the charity organization Overseas China-Uganda Charity Foundation.
Today I have seen it's a very impressive project which we have done for this community. They have told us that around 30,000 people benefiting from this project. I wish that we can try our level best to mobilize more funds, or we inject more funds from our own source, so that we can make more water well for Ugandan.
We used to neglect towns, but we have realized that towns have got a very huge problem of water. So one of the reasons why we made this, first of all, it is near the road. As you can see, vehicles can park and get water. Yeah, we have schools around, we have churches.
Residents welcomed the project, saying it will go a long way to eliminate waterborne diseases and save them from the costs of buying water.
We have very many from all parts of Banda, especially our church quarters. This is the only well we have been using, but you people, what you have done. And it was even abandoned the former years. We had even given up with it, but now we have seen how it has come as if it is in you. So thank you very much. In fact, God is the one who has brought you people to save us.
Philip Aguta, UBC News in Kampala.
Karamojongs from Moroto, Kotido, Kabong and Napak districts have gathered at Panyagara Seed Secondary School in Kotido district for a joint peace dialogue. People welcomed the unity as it was bringing development in the area. The meeting was attended by political leaders, RDCs, security operatives, youth, women and elders from the raiding corridor of Jie, Mathaniko and Bokora.
Karamoja sub-region is currently experiencing a wave of insecurity permeated by cattle rustlers. In Kotido alone, it is estimated that over 3,756 women between 20 to 35 years have been widowed and 7,084 orphaned because of cattle rustling.
They have lost 465 youth. And they have left by 1,637 million, and with 2,987 orphans. And then Kamo, Nagridroi, Namutumba, Nagridroi, and Naporeto. They have lost 346 Karachuna and left by 916 widows with 1,902 orphans.
Residents of the affected districts gathered at Panyangara Seed Secondary School to discuss unity among themselves.
It is the reason why you are seeing even the leadership of Moroto, Kabong, Napak, Kotido, including members of parliament, the security chiefs are all here discussing peace. So it is only peace that will bring development and transformation to Karamoja.
Even me, I've experienced that peace. I've never attended anything with peace like today. Today, we are also praying to God that let it be embodied.
The LC5 chairperson for Napak, John Paul Codet, explains that soon people from Kotido and Moroto are to meet to iron out their differences.
I've come up with a solution, one of the peace, the kind of cleansing, where they have said the Bokora, the Mathaniko, they have to get the spear, they have to get the bullets, and they have to bury as a symbol that they are no longer do not want to have insecurity or to kill themselves anymore.
The LC3 chairperson for Napupum sub-county in Kotido district, Paul Lowok, says there is need to empower the LC3s and their councillors for successful disarmament to be realized. Meanwhile, Lotisan sub-county LC3 chairperson John Robert Adupa says youth will have a peace walk from Moroto to Kotido from 20th to 27th May 2022.
Which will make them walk up to where they will sleep. And where they sleep, they are to be sharing some ideas of peace. This is to make those ones who are staying in the bushes to come in to join the peace walk. Because this issue of carrying the Karachunas with the vehicles to the peace places where we want to have peace talks, it is like we are carrying those very people who come to talk, but yet others, they are there in the bushes.
The meeting resolved that there should be a joint grazing ground for all livestock, registering all animals and the owners to avoid exaggerations of stolen animals. Sudat Kaye, Maureen Yiga, UBC News.
Over the past weeks, the cost of essential commodities has continued to skyrocket with increasing fuel prices, forcing many Ugandans to survive on bare minimum. COVID-19 restrictions across the world disrupted supply chains, leading to high transport costs and shortages of much used commodities.
Residents of Maganda sub-county in Namutumba district have been provided with medical equipment to improve their health status. Some of the medical facilities include 200 mosquito nets, 400 basins, medicines, sugar, soap and clothing. The in charge of Maganda Health Center Freewa Mwendeire Florence thanked Byakatonda Care Foundation and Edan Foundation for their support. She also urged beneficiaries to utilize wealthy items donated to them.
I thank Karamoja for having intervened with a hand and has gotten supplemented nets for the elderly. We have got some clothes for the poor. We have got some sugar. We have got basins. We have got drugs for antenatal. So we really thank UPDF, we thank the foundation for the support, more especially because these are the bones of Maganda. And also look at somebody who remembers where you grew up from.
The Executive Director Byakatonda Care Foundation, Byakatonda Godfrey, however, urged government to offer more support, especially in health services, to the people of Namutumba district.
I'm calling upon the government that we still have a long way to go. Because our students here in Namutumba district, they are very lucky, especially when it comes to medicine. We are lacking, and even the medical doctors are also aware that they are ready to serve the people, but the medicine is not enough. Therefore, we call upon the government and its agencies to quickly respond to the supply of the health centers all over the country. So give an upper hand, consider the poor people, especially in Namutumba, Absoga region, to consider everyone that needs the services of this kind.
The elders who got the mosquito nets also thanked the Byakatonda Care Foundation for the health services brought to them.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break but returns after these messages.
Need to send money to a loved one but you don't have enough on your phone? Have you run out of fuel but you don't have enough money? Do you want to pay for yaka or water but have insufficient funds? Or do you want to shop but you don't have enough money? Don't worry, get away with MTN Momo Advance. Momo Advance tops up your Momo to complete your transactions. Dial *165*5*3# to apply. MTN Momo Advance is always available when you need it.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebration.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Gold TV, love it.
Even with my grandson, a doctor at my side, I struggled to get the help I needed. But he saw something that day. He began to work day and night. He wouldn't quit, even when people said no. he wouldn't stop fighting. He knew something had to change, and his vision was bigger than anyone could imagine. He made it possible to receive quality medical services anywhere in Uganda by simply using a phone.
This is a story of a regular Ugandan just like you, who harnessed the power of technology to provide a solution for us. How about you tell us your story? UG needs more of you. To share your story, visit airtel.co.ug/UG needs more of you or call or SMS 162. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Water gives life. Water is life. But not all water is created equal. Refresh yourself with the new quality Nirvana packaged drinking water and fuel you and your passion to go further in life.
Visit a shop near you and grab a 250 ml at 500 shillings, 500 ml at 1,000 shillings, 1.5 liters at 2,000 shillings, or the 20-liter jumbo bottle at 18,000 shillings. Nirvana is a product of Crown Beverages Limited, the makers of Pepsi products.
Be alert! Do not share your Airtel Money PIN number with anyone. Airtel Uganda employees will never ask for your Airtel Money PIN number on call, SMS, or by email. All SIM card registrations, SIM card verifications, or SIM swaps are done at clearly branded Airtel shops and not on phone. To report any fraudulent activity, please call 100 immediately. The official calling number for Airtel promotions is 0200 100 100. Stay alert on Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the world of business. Industrialists and workers' representatives have dialogued on the ratification and domestication of the International Labour Organization Convention 190 on violence and harassment at the workplace. The International Labour Organization, during a meeting on the 21st of June 2019 in Geneva, adopted the Centenary Declaration on the Future of Work, experiencing a clear commitment to enable a violence and harassment-free work environment in all member states.
Solidarity forever.
Industrial Global Union and its affiliates are calling on government to ratify and implement the International Labour Organization Convention 190 in a bid to shape a more efficient and productive Ugandan workforce.
We have started with the awareness raising and we have moved a step ahead. We are working together with Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, and part of the industrial affiliates. They have been part of this committee which is pushing for ratification of this convention.
Despite the existing labour laws in Uganda, the unionists assert that not much is being done by government to protect workers, more so industrialists, against harassment and violence.
If we are to achieve and clear the issue of violence and harassment of place of work, first and foremost, we need to sensitize the workers themselves to know their rights. Because the victim, if the victim does not come out to report to the relevant authorities, everything will remain silent.
The Employment Act requires that every employer establishes the committees on sexual harassment. So in case there are some workplaces out there that do not have these committees, we want to alert the employers that please put in place these committees to be able to help on issues of sexual harassment.
Ratifying and upholding this convention has been cited as a vital step to show government's readiness to protect, promote and defend workers' rights.
We request the government to take this matter through the Ministry of Labour, to take it seriously, in a positive way, because we are not against the government, but this is affecting the productivity.
The ratification calls for incorporating provisions in the convention related to violence and harassment into occupation safety and health laws, regulations and collective agreements, and developing specific standards, code of practices and guidelines to support the implementation of programs and preventive measures in the workplaces. Wadulo Makanold, UBC News, in Kampala.
Beat the back-to-school hustle today. Pay school fees conveniently using Airtel Money. Dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees.
Select to pay using Bridge Schools, School Pay or Beg Pay.
Select option 1, pay fees. Enter student number. Enter the amount. Enter the PIN number to complete payment. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Affordable packages, great entertainment, sports, telenovela, the movies. There is something for everybody. Go TV, this is where great stories live.
Get the best entertainment for any budget. With GoTV, you will have great entertainment for as little as 13,000 Uganda shillings per month. GoTV, great stories, Zidiwano. GoTV Uganda, love it.
Pay for your dream phone, Mpola. Get your dream phone today for as low as 1,400 Uganda shillings with free data for a year and pay slowly. All phones come with daily 50 MBs for 12 months. Repayment period is 1 year. Available at MTN service centers and M-Kopa shops.
Welcome back, and now into the world of sports. The 2022 Absa Bank-sponsored Uganda Golf Club Captain Bells Tournament has climaxed at the Par 72 Kitante Golf Course. The main event was won by Dixon Agaba among the men, while Benedette Musanavera outlasted all ladies, while Deo Akope was the best professional. We have the details.
More than 300 golfers turned up and exhibited quality golf skills during the 2022 Uganda Golf Club Captain's Bell at the Uganda Golf Club Kitante.
Can we first have a photo? No, let them first hit. Then you take the photo.
This glamorous tournament that has lasted over the past 100 years was ably funded by Absa Bank.
It is basically a tournament that ushers in the new administration in terms of the manco that will administer golf activities at Uganda Golf Club for the next 1 year. Why are we participating in this today? As Absa Uganda, one of the things about our purpose is around bringing possibilities to life. And one of the attributes or focus areas that we do is playing a shaping role in society. So for us, sports is one of those avenues in which we can demonstrate that we are a force for good and not just focused on profitability, but also contributing to the well-being and health of the nation. So we do believe that sport plays a uniting factor in the development of the economy and in ensuring the healthiness of individuals.
The tournament had two categories, with the professional arm that had a 10 million shillings kitty won by Deo Akope, while the main event ended with Dixon Agaba and Benedette Musanavera winning the respective gender trophies and goodies.
We have had overwhelming turn up by the members. Actually, we had to cut off some because the course will not be able to accommodate all of them. We had up to about 300 members that had expressed interest to play, but only about 200 have been given an opportunity to play. Irrespective of the rains, we still have so many members that are participating in the event.
This tournament is organized annually to usher in the new captain, who also unveils his working team. Emmanuel Wamala will work with Pon Wagaba as his vice captain. Ruth Sali is honorary secretary and Patrick Kagoro is honorary treasurer. The nominated members on the committee are Hilary Ndugutse, Paul Charles Rukundo, Rhoda Chimera and Doreen Mwesige.
Uganda's Jas Mangat, co-driven by Joseph Kamya, has emerged victorious at the 2022 Pearl of Africa Rally. Mangat and Kamya saw a tight competition from Zambian Leroy Gomez, who finished second and just ahead of second runners-up Giancarlo Davite of Rwanda. Uganda has a successful campaign on the road with 5 other nationals, including Posiano Lwakataka, Yasin Mogera, Byron Rugomoka, Abdul Katete and Jonas Kansime finishing in the top 10 during a rally that attracted more than 40 crews. But the biggest success for Uganda as a country was the safety standards achieved during this rally, which was on a final warning by the international body over safety concerns by fans from past events. This Shell V-Power sponsored Pearl of Africa rally was hit by the rains that led to cancellation of 2 of the sections, but this nonetheless didn't affect quality of drivers and passion and enthusiasm of the fans. What now follows for the local drivers is the Fort Portal Rally in the National Rally Championship that is currently bossed by Posiano Lwakataka, also known as Mafu Mafu.
On the count.
UBC News Tonight has come to an end. We do like to thank you for your company and of course also to enjoy much more of UBC's programming after this. I'm LAURYN Kazimoto and Muhammad Mugalu Sign Language Interpretation. We wish you a blessed week and a good night.
A doctor at my side, I struggled to get the help I needed. But he saw something that day. He began to work day and night